Sitting here on my porch trying to get some fresh air. I found out yesterday that I was one of approximately 150 people in my organization that got let go, laid off. Restructuring is what we're told, whatever that means. The last 24 hours have been actually 24 plus hours, I guess. It's now 28 hours. Have been pretty tough. A lot of emotions. It's really the first time I think I've ever been laid off in my God knows how long I've been working. It seems like forever. 30 years, maybe. I don't know. Long time. 30 plus years. I think this is my first actual layoff. So, not performance based. I'm eligible for rehire, so I guess that's a positive. But so now I'm out in the market at 53 years old. Don't know what's going to happen.
Microsoft right now is planning massive Xbox layoffs next week. I mean, we are seeing some of the biggest tech companies, including Microsoft, doing some of the wildest layoffs I've ever seen. And these layoffs are only going to get bigger as time goes on. So if you look into Microsoft, they're firing a bunch of people. It's going to get pretty bad. There's going to be a lot of restructuring. You do know that Microsoft has been on a layoff spree, with 2024 having about 2,000 of their gaming people being fired from Xbox to Activision Blizzard. And these layoffs are only going to get bigger in the next few months. And Microsoft, like I said, they already started layoffs from the beginning of this year to now, and now they're already planning major layoffs. It's getting a little bit insane when you start looking at the people that this massive tech company is firing. Laying off about 6,000 people, or 3% of its workforce, back in May, because apparently artificial intelligence is so powerful, it's replacing a lot of their coders and programmers and computer science guys, which in the past are the bread and butter of these software companies. And even when there's a recession, these guys don't really get laid off because they're literally like the ones who are keeping Microsoft afloat. But because 30% of the code is being written by AI, and Microsoft is a big pioneer of AI, they're laying off a bunch of people. It's kind of scary. And if you guys don't believe that AI is that good...
Yeah, that shit aged like milk. Learn to code. You remember that shit? Learn to code, guys. Yeah, they're making fun of normal people telling them learn to code. I bet you almost every single one of those people that were talking shit saying learn to code are now facing job cuts. That's what's crazy in all of this.
Just look at good old IBM, who is one of the biggest employers in the world.
8,000
They're already
staff.
joining the layoff express by firing 8,000 people because AI is so good. In fact, a lot of the human resources department has been laid off and replaced with artificial intelligent agents. So overall, tech layoffs are only going to get bigger. I'll be showing you guys some more videos of these tech layoffs. Everyone is complaining about these tech layoffs. It's getting so bad that people are saying that tech may never be the same as it was before. You have record amounts of graduates trying to apply for these big tech companies, but layoffs are happening every single, even freaking Intel is still on the layoff express, okay? Look at all of these massive tech companies laying people off. And in fact, AI is so big that basically it bankrupt Chegg, and now it's a penny stock, and they're about to go under very, very soon. So a lot of these layoffs are happening. Even Bumble, the dating app, has replaced a lot of their employees with artificial intelligence agents. So right now, Microsoft layoffs are also pretty bad,
That's the thing that we're going to get into later as I learn it myself. Agents, deploying agents, writing code with AI. I don't know any code, but it's called vibe coding. I'm going to start teaching myself that because you could build businesses. We really have 2 to 5 years. You really need to get this done in 2 to 5 years because what 5 years from now is going to look like, the opportunity is going to be gone. I think our world is going to be unrecognizable 5 years later. There's a race to startups right now because of AI.
January, people were saying the layoffs were extremely big. In fact, January, the layoffs were so big and there was no severance. People are pretty outraged by it. And people have been saying that this year, Microsoft could be firing like 10,000 people. And that number is only going to grow as time goes on. And the really disturbing thing isn't really about the layoffs. It's cool if you have a layoff and you get severance, but it's not cool when you get fired and then you can't find another job. That's the problem with most people. You can't find another job after you get fired. And if you look into some of the biggest tech boys out there, like the Amazon CEO, is saying that they want to get the most done with the least amount of resources required to do the job, which is the only way to do it is with robots, AI, etc. So you're clearly seeing we are entering a new type of economy where it's mostly structured around robots and artificial intelligence, which are going to cause even more layoffs. And no wonder people are griping all the time. No wonder Gen Zers and millennials are so mad about all this. You can't find a job. Okay, the job you find pays very little. Cost of living is very high. All your tech friends are being fired. Layoffs are happening everywhere. And when you're a fresh college grad, you can't get a tech job. I mean, it sucks right now. The job market is not good. And check out some of these videos.
So this is my last week at Microsoft. I was lucky enough to be chosen as one of the 6,000 people to be laid off this week. It's the 50th anniversary. So, I was waiting for a gift, and this is, I guess, what I got. It's sad to be leaving, but, also a new chapter of our life opening up, and there's many opportunities. So I'm looking forward to the future.
Wow.
So it's been about an hour since I found out that I was laid off from Meta. I am part of the 11,000 employees that were laid off. I had a feeling, just because I'm on the recruiting, or was on the recruiting team, and that's where the biggest hits were taken. Yesterday I was like, you know what, whatever happens, happens. And today when I read the email, I got so emotional. And I know that's normal. I think it's just like, this was literally like my dream job. And I was so proud of myself when I got it. And I'm still very proud of myself. I guess it's just crazy because I never thought that I could work. I've worked for Microsoft and I've worked for Meta. So I think I'm okay when it comes to my resume. It's just a really bad time in the economy, and I get that. But I just never thought that I could work for a company like this. So I hate that my dream job is no job, but this was in my mind that I made it moment, And so I know that the universe has wonderful things in store.
But did you, or was it like DEI? I wonder who they're firing. Like, are these people critical to the company's livelihood? It's different if you're some mid-level, whatever. You're one of those people that are on the Zoom calls, do nothing, eat, have a fucking latte, take a nap, right? What do you actually do for the company? If you were one of these engineers that had real skills and really, really code good shit, I highly doubt the company's getting rid of you. This is like trimming off the fat, and AI is coming for the fat first. Someone says she's a top tier ping pong player in the office, yeah.
For me, and I've survived 100% of life up to this point. But I'm just feeling all of the feelings today. So if anyone has leads or a technical recruiter, I am really good at my job.
Technical recruiter. AI Slop was already automating her job anyway, so she did nothing. HR, bro, it's HR. Technical recruiter. Did you see? They literally got rid of HR. I went to school and got a job through DEI to make programmers life fucking hell. And they kept all their software engineers. And this is you won a shit sandwich award face. You're done. HR is cooked.
Yeah, if you're going through this right now, I'm in the same boat as you. So sending lots of love and light, and we'll get through this. We will get through this. It's life right now.
Just know that with these layoffs, they didn't change any of the deadlines.
What'd you do at Microsoft? I'm curious.
Why would they do that? Anyway, I had a friend who was impacted by these layoffs, and they shared an incredible quote and just a nugget of wisdom, as they have done in every single instance I've ever worked with them. And so it doesn't surprise me that in their last space of communications connections, they offered another quote, and I'm going to share it with you. It is from Maya Angelou, and it says, "You may not control all events that happen to you, but..."
Shut up already.
Today, I'm so tuning all day long.
28 years ago, I started in this building as a contractor. And I know a lot of you guys want story time as to the last video. Listen, I don't want to leave. I like my job here. I'm going to miss my friends. I've said goodbye to everybody today. This is officially my last day at Microsoft. And, doing the old tour around to some buildings I used to work at and, saying goodbye to people. But this is where it started. This is where it's going to end. I do want to say, I know a lot of people think I have ill will or I'm angry. I'm just sad. I like working for Microsoft. I get it's a big corporation. They can only do what they can do. I want to thank them for all they've done for me over the years. I really have enjoyed working here, and I'm going to miss it an awful lot. So everybody that has all those weird comments in the last one, they really are a good company. I don't like how this is ending, but...
So I just got laid off from my job at Meta. After laying off 13,000 people...
What did you do there?
Another round, laying 10,000 people off, and unfortunately, I was one of them. This is my first job out of college, and I can't lie, I'm pretty heartbroken. Not even 24 hours before I was laid off, Adam, the CEO of Instagram, made a video on his personal account celebrating a feature that I worked on. As for what's next for me, I have no freaking idea. Maybe this is a sign for me to be a full-time game developer, take content creation seriously, play video games all day, start on OnlyFans. Just kidding. But on a more serious
But not really.
I spent my entire life following a traditional path to success. Studying so much in high school, I didn't have a childhood, going to a good college, and working at a tech giant. I want to invest in what I want, which is telling stories. I'm starting a YouTube channel at Saundering Emily, which you can subscribe to in the link in my bio.
Oh my God,
I am working on
bro.
my first commercial game, which is coming out in years. And who knows what else. If you want to follow my journey and saying goodbye to the expectations of others, then let's go.
Oh my God, bro. Women. It's all women, dude. Do you see this shit? It's mostly women. I assure you, probably 70% of the people that got fired were women, at least. Useless jobs in HR doing fuck all. You think they're firing their engineers, their developers? Fuck no. DEI and soy boys are gone. Damn, YouTube. Yeah, YouTube's about to get flooded with my story working at Meta. My story, I'm going to create a video game. Vibe code, vibing, Claude code, vibes. The vibes. Watch me video game it up with the boys. Live stream. Fucking hell. Jeez, there's no more calling people into the office for a comment somebody made to a Karen. Fucking hell.
Fast one, and I want y'all to understand what they're doing. So as y'all know, Meta laid off a bunch of people citing low performance for the layoffs, okay? A bunch of folks caught up to Cage Bird looking for support, and what they were telling us is that they have not had a performance review in the past year. Now, why is that important? If you're going to argue that you were wrongfully terminated based on something other than performance, so basically saying Meta said that I'm a low performer, however, I'm not a low performer, and I was actually laid off because of whatever other reason, you have to be able to prove that you were in fact not a low performer. And the way to do that is through your performance review. But clearly Meta planned this layoff and did not conduct a performance review the year prior. That means it's harder to prove that you are not a low performer because now for the past year, everything is subjective because there's no performance review. So it's literally on a case-by-case basis, forcing you to go to court. So let's play this out, okay? I got laid off. Okay, I got laid off in January. They told me it was because I was a low performer. I actually wasn't a low performer. My last performance review told me I was exceeds expectation. I go to my company and say, hey, this is actually discrimination. I'm not a low performer because
oh my God, bro.
I was exceeds expectations, okay? 9 times out of 10, they're going to give you some money and you're going to go about your business.
Oh my God, bro. Of course, it's discrimination. Oh my God.
Because just 6 months ago, you were a high performer, okay? Now, this is what happened with Meta, okay? I got laid off. I go to Meta and say, hey, I actually wasn't a low performer. They didn't do performance reviews. So they're going to say, prove it. The only performance review you have is the one from 2 years ago.
Oh my God, bro.
So there's a year of gray area that now you have to prove that you're a low performer. This is why I be telling y'all to keep the receipts, okay? This is what y'all need to start doing because the way these tech companies work is if one does something and it works, they all going to do it, okay? And that means that you have to start on your own accord. If your company decides to randomly not do performance reviews, you need to be emailing your manager regularly and consistently and asking for performance feedback in writing. And then whatever they say, you need to keep the receipts of that in the work receipts app. That's what you need to do. Because they're going to try to start getting rid of performance reviews so that they can continue laying people off and calling it a low performance layoff to skate and donate around the law. Like, that's just...
She'd be telling us, can we get someone else? I'd be tired of listening.
And that means more layoffs in the tech space coming. Microsoft's going to lead the charge. Intel's going to drop about 20% of their workforce. Meta, Facebook, Amazon, all of them, they're all gearing up. And I got the full list coming, so stick around for this video, but it's not the time to be dropping your job without having a backup, especially in the tech space. Things are not going to get any better as companies try to trim down their staff, lower their overhead, cut cost, because they doubled down so hard on AI research and AI innovation. If you've heard of any other companies laying off, drop them in the comments here.
I mean, the tech sector is always going to be the first, right? And then it goes to everybody else. Guys, truckers are next. All right, taxi drivers are next. That Uber shit's done. The robo-taxis are now coming. Elon just got approved. Tesla robo-taxis in Phoenix and a couple other cities already approved. Major rollouts. In the next 5 years, you can't even do gig work anymore. There will be no more door dashing. The Tesla's pulling up to the McDonald's. They're going to put the McDonald's in the Tesla, and then that shit's pulling up to your house. And that's it, bro. Done. A fleet of robo-taxis, cars that are rented out by corporations that have power to scale. You think you're going to do this with your car? No, siree. No. You're like, I'm going to just rent my car out and have it do deliveries and shit. No, bro, you lose from scaling alone. Why wouldn't Uber buy 10,000 fucking taxi cars, only deal with maintenance, all self-driving, and make stupid money off of them?
It's going to get rough. It's going to get worse before it gets better, guys.
This morning at 8 a.m., I got invite title list update, my manager, and someone from I think we're all about.
As a result, your position on the web support team will be eliminated effective today, Monday,
Wow.
June 3rd, 2024. Please understand that this is a business decision to eliminate this role and your role specifically as it
Yeah, you see, it's mostly useless roles. Like these are the first jobs that AI is going for.
reflects the change and the need for this service that Microsoft will be providing.
So I'm a full-time influencer now. I've been working at Microsoft for the last 2.5 years.
Fucking useless,
I'm
bro.
not sure what follow me as
we're going to document me having no job and I hope I blow up on the internet so I never work again. You're a fucking tech support or some shit, bro. What the fuck? What do you think was going to happen? Did you not see what's about to happen with the advent of AI? Did GPT-1 didn't be like, hold on a second, my job is on the chopping block in a few more years, better start looking at something else. It didn't hit you then and there when you're watching the fucking GPT-2 rollout and then Google investing in this shit and then companies dropping hundreds of billions of dollars. It didn't fucking hit you then that your repetitive fucking data entry slop job is going away. It's a wrap, dude. This shit is spreading far and wide. 50% of entry-level white-collar jobs will disappear within 2 to 5 years. It's maybe even sooner if that shit grows at an exponential scale. Because what they managed to do at Grok, I have the fully paid one for $300 a month. I'll tell you right now, we're going to do, probably for the second channel, by the way, if you want to join us on the private community for chats. But I do, when I'm streaming with the guys there, how to start businesses, how to leverage it for things like YouTube or analysis or day trading or whatever the fuck it was, whatever we're doing, video generation models like VO3, all that stuff. You need to learn this shit. If you don't, you're cooked. It's over for you. The first batch, huge swath of jobs are going to be the people that do not know how to use AI. The people that'll stay will be the ones that could leverage the early versions of AI. What you see today, this is just the early version of stuff. Yeah. And then eventually, even the people that know how to use AI are going to be the ones that get replaced fully by AI. And they're cheap to deploy. You could deploy thousands of agents. They cost nothing compared to an employee. Even right now, the value proposition of Grok Heavy, whatever it's called, it's $300. Called Super Grok Heavy. Elon's charging $300 a month for you to access a multi-agent LLM. Do you know how much money that thing saves you? If you have to deal with something like lawyers, if you have to deal with in-depth analysis of businesses, if you could plug that shit into like Stripe and all this other crazy stuff. You could plug it in to do really crazy shit. Yeah, AI agents using NAN. Yeah. I don't think people understand what's about to happen in the world today. We are literally just a few years away from a radical shift. I mean, even with Claude right now, let me show you guys this shit. Pull this up. Actually, I want you guys to see this. Where is this? Here we go. This is Claude, and they call them connectors, right? So basically, it's like linking your LLM into apps that you use. So it can control your Mac, for example, right? It can automate tasks in Windows, in your Mac, in Spotify. It can control Spotify in Stripe. It can manage resources in your Stripe account, right? It could be your Brave browser. It can, what else? Be in your Notes app. It can read your iMessages and send iMessages, right? In your Chrome, you literally can talk to it right here directly, and it can take control and do things for you. It's not just, oh, I talked to my chatbot. Now they're actively being connected to things that you're controlling. These are just the desktop extensions, right? And then you have the web stuff. You can connect it to things like, I don't know what Asana is. Okay, but Canva, if you make thumbnails or art or stuff for social media, connects to your Google Drive. It could instantly analyze all the files in your Drive folder. It can schedule, it understands your schedule, and it can optimize your time in your Google Calendar, your email. It can draft replies. It could summarize the shit that's coming in. It searches your entire inbox. There's so much stuff. Square, if that's your payment processor, or Stripe, it goes into Zapier, so you can automate a bunch of your workflows. Thousands of Zapier apps exist already. There it is. Connect to your Notion workspace. PayPal. There's more and more connections being made. This stuff is going to fuck you if you do not know how to use it. And that's me putting it lightly. I don't think people understand what's actually coming down the pipeline. They're getting insanely good with these tools that they're connected to.
Figure out how to.
Unfortunately, we had some surprise news this morning. There was a bunch of layoffs at Microsoft, and a lot of people in Seattle, Bellevue area did get laid off with severance packages, including...
Yeah, you're all cooked. You weren't ready. This guy said, got laid off from tech in 23 and never bothered to get into IT again. Opened my own car wash shop and couldn't be happier. I got laid off as a web dev. First COVID, then AI. Luckily, I lived a modest life and never got into a bunch of debt. I was laid off and my company filled the position with a developer from India. The people who built AI got replaced by AI. Never attach yourself to a company. Never be loyal. Always be looking for a better opportunity and for growth. A company will let you go no matter how loyal and productive you were. I've been laid off 4 fucking times. Shit. I'm in construction. Nearly every company is hiring. So instead of learn to code, maybe it's time to learn to build. Yeah, learn to fucking hammer a nail. I feel nothing for someone in HR getting laid off. Yeah. Shit. Work with your hands. Yeah.